Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level best of 3 between in the top left spawning as our Red Terran player playing for Team Liquid, the recently acquired Cure. And in the bottom right playing for Team Dragon Kaisi Gaming. He's been there for a while and he'll remain there for much longer most likely. It's of course Hero, spawning as our blue Protoss here on Golden Aura with a low ground gateway. This is one of those things that we often see. We often used to see. I don't think we see it that often anymore, actually, now that I think about it. It's been a while since I've seen a good old low ground gateway. It's not so popular no more. It really isn't. Terrans so commonly open with Reapers that having this gateway over here is a bit of a liability at times. Because the Adept takes a little while to get back up into the main base in case a Reaper does show up towards that main. Might end up killing 1 or 2 workers, and that's not really worth it. This is generally great to have against some type of Marine First opener though. Marine First in the factory specifically, you have the low ground gate. You're gonna get across the map in time, most of the time, to delay that command center a little bit and perhaps even kill a Marine. You delay that command center, all of a sudden the Terran is supply blocked and can start their factory unit. It's one of these things that's real nice, is that one of these snowball effects really in StarCraft 2. Just deal a little bit of damage. Killing an SCV that's building the CC can be huge in that way, but it's not going to be the case here, or at least I don't think so. There's going to be a low ground CC, but it was a reactor first opener here for Cure, following it up with a double Reaper. See this Adept being sent across the map. Blind battery in the main, into a Stargate here. Hero is prepared for a lot of things here. Alright, he's prepared for a lot of different things. But is he prepared for a double Reaper plus Hellion? What's going to happen with these Adept? That's the main question that I have right now. That's the main question that everyone should be having. Adept makes his way across the map. Here we go. Did those Reapers see that? No, they haven't quite yet. Now they're going to spot it. SCV will go down. It's not the end of the world. Adept gets the shade out instantly. Very nice. Sees the double Reaper. Gonna lose a little bit of its HP. Just a little bit though. That's maybe 2 shots by those Reapers. It's going to go into 4 Reaper, 2 cars. That is a decent amount of units here in the early game, of course. Cyclone as well. Oh, triple Rex. It's going to be the follow-up, I imagine. It's very rare to see just a single barracks follow-up. Like a 2-on-1 type of setup off of this opener. Unlikely in my mind. I think we're going to see a 3rd Rex being added on at some point in the near future. It's 38 supply to 40. There is a battery on the low ground. Do we have an Oracle? Yes, we do. That is a very important unit right now. Battery in the main base is going to be invaluable at this point. As these Hellions not going to be capable of dealing any damage. This was a great trade for Hero. Look at that resources lost tab. 450 resources lost on the side of Cure. 2 Hellions, 2 Reapers and that SCV from earlier. And what has Hero lost? Nothing. He has, however, invested into 2 batteries. But both of these batteries might provide value later on in the game as well, in case there's some type of drop towards the main here, or if there's an attack in towards the natural. There is indeed a 3rd Rex now on the way for Cure. That is pretty much the standard if you're opening factory into a 2nd barracks. It's rare to see someone just play a 2 barracks opener. I'm not actually too familiar with that type of play. This Reaper's just kind of roaming around, having a blast, trying to figure out what's kicking off here exactly. Okay. It's gonna kill another Reaper. Make that 6 units that have now gone down here so far in this game. What is this thing? It's like a vent. It's a very fancy vent. This is how you know that that a country or a people is doing well. If they're making their vents out of freaking gold and like some rotating stuff around it. This is vents, I think. I don't quite see James Bond fitting in here though. It seems fairly small. Look at this go. Well, looks pretty sick in my mind. Nice architecture here. This looks like a Protoss planet as well now. All the gold and stuff. Maybe Catholic Protoss players. They love the gold. The fancy looks. Colossus on the way right now. It's going to be Oracle into Phoenix Colossus. I think this has become much more common post-patch, seeing Oracle openers even with Phoenix Colossus. So back in the day, whenever someone played Phoenix Colossus, back in my day, it would be 1 or 2 Phoenixes, 3, 4 Phoenixes into Colossus. Nowadays, very often we see that Oracle first because the initial Cyclone isn't as scary anymore. Pre-patch, of course, if the Cyclone ever locked onto your Oracle, you could pretty much wave goodbye to your Oracle. But nowadays, you can fly out of that Cyclone lock-on range due to the low speed of the Cyclone and the low range of the Cyclone, the low range of the lock-on. So it just feels much nicer to play Oracles against Terran in general, as the first unit specifically. This hero is now adding in a second Colossus as well. Thermal Lance a little bit over halfway done, 2 gateways. Twilight Council 36 out of 36. I'd love to see this Phoenix, just these Phoenixes doing something. I'm surprised to see them at home. In general, I'm a little bit surprised to see the build that hero is going for. There's no Forge quite yet. He's investing heavily in things that aren't upgrades. He's going for a worker cut as well right now. This almost feels like with that near constant Phoenix production, it almost feels like he's setting up for an all-in, but the 6 gases, they make me believe it's not quite the case. It's rare to see a 6 gas go into an all-in. At least I'm not super familiar with that at least. Third base going down here in that line formation. The Colossus are far out on the map. This is kind of a risky maneuver here, but it might work out good. Force fields, lifts 2 Marauders, lifts 3 Marauders, kills a 4th one as well. A real nice damage here. Look at that resources lost step as Cure has done absolutely nothing. Now gets a scan in there, sees that his opponent has those 6 gases. Still no Forge though, and we're going up to 6 gates. Ooh, Templar Archives. Okay, now it's starting to make a little bit more sense to me that he took those gases. This is an all-in though that I haven't seen in a very long time. It's going to be a triple Colossus charged all-in with a pretty heavy focus on top of that on those Archons. Is this 10 gate? Yeah, this is 10 gate. He's gonna go for 10 gates, Gravitic Drive in there as well. So that's the War Prism speed. I'm real curious how Cure is gonna try and defend this. Now this is a good map defensively. I won't pretend it isn't the case. Mine's gonna get a connection here with an Oracle. Ghost Academy on the way. It is vital for Cure here to get these Ghosts out before the attack hits. Because if you don't have any EMPs and your opponent has what? Well, it's gonna be 3 Archons probably. That is an issue as a Terran player, especially given that his mine count is so darn low. I'm loving this build here out of hero though. It's a real cute little... It's weird to call something an all-in that's gonna hit with 160 supply, but due to complete lack of forges, no fort base, I mean, I don't think I can call it anything but an all-in. Like, if the incoming attack doesn't succeed, hero is dead. He's just absolutely dead. Even if he gets a fort behind this, which I don't even think I would necessarily suggest. But if he were to build a fort behind it, he still needs to do, like, I want to say near fatal damage here. It's gonna take out a bunch of units. Cyclone, Mine, warps in more stuff as well. There are a lot of Phoenixes out, 8. First 3 Ghosts now being popped out. All finish at the same time. Cure needs to buy a little bit of time. If you can get an EMP on those Phoenixes, that would be huge. Mines need to be successful as well. Here comes the first EMP, it's fine. It's not great, not terrible. That was not good though by Cure. Allowing these mines to just get hit by 2 Zealots. 2 more in the back, really not connecting with much either. Where's the rest of the EMPs? I'm not seeing them. I don't... Okay, the Ghost now trying to come in from the side, but that's very late. The main army has already disappeared as Cure is just getting wiped off the face of the earth. 2 Phoenixes still alive. GG gets called as hero with just a very weird type of all-in. Takes game number 1 here on Golden Aura. And in game number 2 we see another no scout here by hero. Second time in a row now. But he plays it kind of safe as well. You see that? This is like semi-safety. Not real safety, but almost safe. So he gets a Zealot out In case it's like a proxy rack. Would have been nice to have a Zealot against it, of course. It's gonna chrono out this Adept as well. Last game he went for the Blind Battery. This time goes for the Reaper Wall. Well, the anti-Reaper Wall. Factory on the way. So this was a Marine into Reactor into Factory. Should be fine, I think, for Cure. It's gonna have 3 Marines, and 4 and 5 will pop basically 5 or 6 seconds after this Adept enters the natural. So this is actually an okay situation here. If I'm Cure, I'm pretty happy with my build order choice. It's going to be capable of keeping this CC alive. I do believe so. Unless he really messed it up. I'm surprised he doesn't chase further. You should know the timing of the first Adept is 247, 248. Maybe believed that there was going to be a low ground. Yeah, there come the 2 Marines, as I said, about 5 seconds after the Adept arrives. But this is dealing more damage than I thought it was going to. Cure with some odd movement here. Really just quite odd movement with those first 3 Marines. Didn't want to really chase the Zealot. Perhaps afraid of a second Zealot showing up. Or maybe the gate being a low ground gate. And thus the Adept like showing up 3-4 seconds quicker as well. But even then I feel like there was at least a 4 or 5 second window in which those Marines were completely allowed to start shooting that Zealot. And they didn't. And he pays the price for that, let's face it. Nice build though here by hero. I kind of do like this. I'm usually not a huge fan of these Zealot openers, but I do like the Zealot opener if at the same time you're also not scouting. I think then it's fine, because you're making some money and you're losing some money. And you deal some damage, it's all good. Here comes a triple Adept, 1 Zealot walk-in. Well, Shade-in plus walk-in and drive-by here with the Oracle as well. Cyclone locks onto the Zealot. Now locks onto an Adept as Marines are getting targeted down pretty rapidly. I think this was a bad trade overall though for hero. Had already killed, what, 3 Marines without losing anything. Now kills 6 more but loses 4 units for it. I guess it does kind of give more potential here to them Oracles. Especially because there's no Viking yet. That is somewhat surprising. Tech Lab also somewhat surprising. A Raven with interference. Wow. This is the last thing that I'd expected. Very rare to see Raven openers against any type of Stargate play. Because A, the Raven doesn't help against Oracles, and B, the Raven is awful against Phoenixes. So here we go, we have a triple Oracle dive in. Not the greatest control on these Oracles though. Absolutely atrocious control on these Oracles. Loses 2. Kills what? 2 Cyclones, but Cyclones are extremely cheap nowadays. They're not the same as they used to be. It's not as great a trade, buddy. That was a really, really poor trade here for hero. Felt like that was mismicroed as well, at least a tiny tad. Mine is gonna come back in towards the naturals. Interference Matrix is about to finish up. It's just going to be a single Raven build though, despite interference researching. 4 gas into charge. Now, I've seen a lot of interesting build orders, and this is definitely one of those. A very interesting build order indeed. Alright. If hero would have controlled that well, he could have gotten that mine. The way to do it would be to activate the pulsar beam, then lift the mine with the Phoenix, and then drop it again, and then keep the Oracle shooting. At the same time, auto turret is going to deal some damage. Another way to do it would be to sacrifice the Phoenix, because mines don't one-shot shoot Phoenixes, so you would take significant damage, but you reveal it. I think that might be worth it, picking off a mine. Mines are really powerful, especially if you're playing charge. If you can take one out before a major fight occurs, I think that's generally a nice thing. As, where did that Phoenix go? They're just kind of floating around over here. This Raven's trying to go back home. Gateway count is extremely low. We're going up to 7 right now, but that is 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. I'm just having an extremely difficult time seeing how hero is planning on holding the incoming push. I'm also still very surprised that we saw freaking interference matrix being researched. And then seeing the Raven sacrificed is also an interesting moves all around so far this game. Very odd indeed. As here comes a mine hit. Phoenix is gonna get taken out for free. There's a random mine here as well. Very far forward. We're going up to a gateway count of 10, if I'm counting correctly, and I think I am. Blink as a follow-up. So this is basically a Oracle into charge here. Usually you see Phoenix into charge or Oracle into Blink. This time it's Oracle into charge, and it does have some issues against drops. It might have some issues against high mine counts as well. Usually with the Phoenixes, you can lift those mines. And thus your Zealots, you know, they might have a future. There are 5 sentries. 5? Could use a hallucination here to trigger it. Yeah, this is indeed what he's going to be doing. Takes out 1 mine for free, that's nice. At the same time, a quad mine drop hitting the main. Do we have an armory? No, we don't. These are going to be single-use mines then. Solid control here. Solid moves out of hero all around. Here comes an attack. Can he hold? I don't think so. He has nothing. Good pickup here by Cure as well. Zealots go down, but the Marines and Marauders were safe in the medevac. No friendly fire here. Waits until these force fields run out. Now stims in, and yeah, this is just going to be it. Guardian Shield gets popped way too late. Fort base is already on the way, but he can't even defend 3 bases right now, as these mines will get cleaned up eventually. But at the same time, I think Hero's army is also in the process of being cleaned up over here. Snipe on the pylon. Kill on those stalkers. His army is slightly overstimmed, so I like that we're not seeing another stim. And as I say that, he stims instantly. And it's gonna, well, it's gonna be pretty far into the orange here, this army. Needs to be a little bit careful about that, but at the same time, he's up freaking 50 army supply. I think he'll just be fine. Hero attempts to snipe on the Widow Mine, doesn't quite succeed. One more warp in and we'll go for it right now. Mines in the back. Stop these flanking Zealots, and I'd be very surprised if Hero manages to get a W in here. Blinks forward, but yeah, that's just going to be it. As Cure is knocking on the Protoss door, and no one's home. GG gets called. Cure ties it up. And that brings us to the final game of this best of 3, in which we're gonna have to wait and see if Cure's gonna be capable of making similar plays here. I'm not even sure if it's Cure that's making the plays or if it's Hero that's kind of throwing it away. Felt like that Oracle control in the early stages wasn't quite brilliant. This is the thing with Hero though, is that he'll take risks, and sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. You know, Hero is the type of guy that goes into the casino and he puts all of his money on red. And then he wins. And people are like, man, this guy's a genius. He's like, did you see that? He put it all on red. That's crazy. There's like a guy in the back going, but what if it would have been black? It's like, no, shut up. It was red and he guessed red. Well, are you stupid? It's like these guys analyzing. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. If it would have been black, he just would have lost the game. Right? Everyone else is like making Reddit threads. How genius of a roulette player he is. And then every now and again, the roulette just, it's black. And he put all of his cash on red, he loses. And he's like, that happens to the best. It's the risk of the game. That's true. He's a brilliant player, but he does take massive risks. It's lovely to see, though. All I'm saying is that if I were to, if every Protoss player were like someone, or if all Protoss players were like one player, I'd rather have them be like Hero than like me. I'm a fairly boring player. Hero, he brings life to the party, to the party of StarCraft 2. He's the type of guy that, he enters a room, everyone just lights up. And he's the guy, you remember back in the day, I'm not sure, for some of you, maybe that's the current day right now, you used to go to like parties and you're like maybe in a high school or in university. And there's always this guy that went to like the McDonald's and brings like a bag of chicken nuggets or cheeseburgers, Everyone likes him, no one wants him to do it, he just does it because he's a good person, And if he doesn't do it, that's also okay. It's not like the only reason he's in the group is because he gets the chicken nuggies. But whenever it's needed the most, he comes in clutch, It's that type of guy. You want to be that person. That's what Hero is, okay? When you're having a boring little StarCraft tournament, everyone's playing, 3-gate blink again against Terran. Boring. Hero shows up, bam, 3 oracles, sacrifices 2 to a mine, the 3rd oracle gets 35 kills, wins the game in a base trade. It's a classic Hero game. This is a real situation that happens all the time. When you don't, you're not even that hungry for it. You're not really thinking about it. And then Hero just shows up and he does it, And sometimes he'll just play a standard game and that's also okay. He shows up to the party. He just brings his solid personality. And I was like, oh man, This guy's real cool. Like, yeah, sometimes he even brings back with chicken nuggets. This guy's a legend. That's how legends are born, you know? Just all around decent human beings. A common factor amongst legends most of the time. Everyone knows that. What is this gonna be? Battery. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what this is. I want to say this is a 2-gate blink build, but he might just add 2 more gateways because it's hero. No, he won't. It's actually just going to be 2 more gas. All right. So in that case, I'm leaning towards a blink Colossus type of play. This is technically much better post-patch, yet we haven't seen it as much as I would have expected. And it might tell you something about the power of just aggressive blink builds, not so much about the weakness of this particular opener. Because I think it's actually quite strong. You get a bunch of stalkers out, you get relative map control compared to normal situations in which you get Colossus. You get quite a bit of map control, and this is nice as well. Some safety involved, it's good against Cyclone openers. And your third base also isn't so late. So I wonder now how exactly... Okay, still gonna get a prism out. I see it starting here in the Robo. Okay, yeah, okay, Robo Bay, prism. And then I am expecting a third base at some point. Knowing Hero, he could take a gold. But that is really not good with Colossus, though. Whenever you're playing Colossus, you kind of want your bases to be close by, so you can bounce between batteries. That is really what you want to do. You don't want to fight out in the open. You want to fight in in a small space. If you have a knife and the other guy has a gun, you want to be fighting in a phone booth. You know, that's a good arena for you. That's a very good arena. It's the same with the Colossus. A Colossus, it wouldn't do so well in a phone booth, but maybe a very long phone booth, like the width of a phone booth is really what a Colossus needs. So they can't form a concave against him. That's what the Colossus likes. It's going to be a 4 stalker poke. There are some areas here you can fly in from. Main base perhaps also viable. Are there any tanks at all? There's no tanks. It's a wild move altogether. Love how Hero did this, by the way. Such a cute little detail that a lot of people will still get wrong even at the higher level. That was just really nice. You know, that was really nice. So Hero unloaded on the low ground and then blinked onto the high ground. Because if you unload on the high ground, your opponent sees it immediately. Now you're quicker there with all your stalkers and you can one-shot SCVs instantly. So it's just a small little detail, and the prism provides the safety that you need anyway. So it's not like your stalkers are in more danger. I think that's a cute move. I like that a lot. Hero, you're a genius. Charge on the way here, no forge. Maybe a similar concept as to what we saw in game number 1. For the people short of memory, game number 1 was this heavy charge Archon timing without any upgrades, and we're not seeing a forge quite yet. This is such a risky move as well that Hero is playing here. You see that? He's kind of floating around with that prism, looking for something. Saying, hey, you need to leave some units at home. And if you don't, my dear friend, you is going to be in quite some trouble. Ooh, that's a huge blink forward. Not a very smart one, I don't think. Second Colossus shows up. Cure realizes he needs to piss off as these stalkers come in flanking. This is a move you never see. Oh, blinks in forward. Prism there to pick up as well. As a couple of Marauders are going to end up falling. That is a big deal. Marauders are vital against Colossus. Another blink forward. Cyclone gets picked up. Good micro there by Cure. Both players with some tight little pickup micro coming in. Clean. Blinks to the side. Gets the mine. Gets the Cyclone. We have a very significant push out here coming out of Hero, who adds in 2 sentries. Perhaps for some containy vibes over here. Saying, hey, the moment you try to move out of this area, you're going to be in some serious trouble. Vikings on the way already. Blinks in forward. 1 Viking very low. Does get killed there with that last stalker shot. That is a big deal. Every Viking you can take out is a huge one. As Hero is rotating or trying to rotate in towards the main base. Sees that there's a command center over there. We'll move back towards the net. Drop being sent out on the map. That's a double mine drop heading in towards the natural. Third Colossus about to show up as Hero is significantly supply blocked here. Still shooting on this bunker. He's outmining his opponent by about 800-900 minerals a minute. Those are big numbers, my friends. Those are very big numbers. There's no Ghost Academy yet. That is also a big deal. That means that these sentries will be very useful, and that means that this army will be quite powerful. Here comes a mine drop. Hero, are you paying attention? He ain't. He ain't. 9 kills there on the probes. That is painful. As well as the fact that Cure is going to be capable of evacuating here. Triple Colossus still shooting for now. Here comes the Purification Nova. It's going to kill 2 mines at once. Look how low these medevacs are when it comes to the energy as well. Here comes a pull of the line. Sentries are available though. Guardian Shield, no. But no Force Field. Okay, there we go. Force Field's coming in fairly late though. No Guardian Shield here is also surprising to me. There was definitely energy as these Vikings are going to get sniped. We see 1 Colossus left over. 18 workers have gone down. 7 more probes going down in the main though. Oh no, well... Medevac's gonna get taken out and these mines will also fall. 106 supply, oh sorry, 110 supply to 83, 53 workers to 33. There's 0 medevacs on the map, so pushing out right now is simply impossible momentarily for Cure. As I feel like Hero is trying to bait something here, like a stim or just literally anything. Gonna move in once more, gets a Marauder, that's nice, can blink towards the left side here, maybe take out another one. That's close, but no cigar quite yet. If Cure is forced to stim here, that would be a big deal. Don't forget, he's already fairly far into the orange with a lot of these Marauders and has 0 medevacs out. Okay, first medevac now pops, but these units are damaged, they're bruised, they're battered. And Hero is out here for blood. Medevacs are gonna boost away. And I think our Protoss player might just have it. This is a bit of a surprise to me. Hero is very good, of course, but Cure doesn't seem to lose a whole lot of TVP these days. But here against Hero, he kind of looked weak, honestly. He didn't look like he was on top of things, as these Disruptor shots are going to connect. It's just a single Colossus. Now, Hero still needs to be careful. Just dropped like 20 supply at once. Another stim forward here. Disruptor gets taken out once more. 92 supply to 110. Supply's getting a lot closer here. 81 to 97, Hero. Gotta be careful. It is 1-1 upgrades against just +1. There is that command center in the main. Don't forget, Hero has been outmining his opponent this entire time and will continue to do so for quite a bit longer. Ooh, the Purification Nova almost hits. This one might also, yeah, gets 2 Marauders there. Gets some connections. 82 to 112 supply. Protoss being up in supply is, of course, a good sign here for the Protoss fans. As Hero with some very neat all-ins here today. Just a neat play overall, honestly. Oh, there we go. Huge Purification Nova. That was only about 3-4 Marauders. As Cure was simply too slow there with the pickup. Now I think these Disruptors are looking to kill that mine and just miss it. Just barely. Just miss it again. And it's gonna shoot the bunker. Gonna scan on the other side. I think Cure realized that he needs to move out at this point. He really does. Okay, that Disruptor shot's gonna get the bunker as well as the mine that was over there. Don't forget, Hero can just stand here all day. The longer this game goes, the better it is for Hero. All that Hero needs to do is make sure that no third base ever lands. Here comes an attack, here comes a move out. Charge is around, as these Purification Novas are not going to connect with any of the units, but the Zealots are ripping through those SCVs. This Purification Nova is a very big hit. And that, my dear friends, is most likely going to be it. GG gets called as Hero wins the game as well as the series. Very impressive play. This is really cool StarCraft because it is completely focused on kind of the early stage of the mid game, where usually Protoss players don't actually have map control. And Hero says, hey, if I skip upgrades, get a lot of gateways, and just have a sick early game altogether, I actually can take map control. Look at that, Kevin. Yeah, that does look pretty nice. So some nice builds here, some solid execution as well, and Cure just seeming to lack mainly in the early game stages, not really creating any space for himself in the mid game, and against a player like Hero, that is simply not possible. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you did enjoy this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.